What's up, everybody? We're back with another professional picks video. And as promised, in this video, we're going to be talking about my favorite Super Bowl bets, including game lines and some various props that the books are offering as well. First one we'll talk about, get it off the bat really quick, is one of my favorite bets, Super Bowl MVP. Normally, it goes to the quarterback. Occasionally, like in the Panthers-Broncos Super Bowl, it goes to a defensive player if there's not a ton of offense. Not something I predict in this game. You see here the favorites, Matt Stafford at plus 105. Obviously, the Rams are the favorite for this game. Again, I just said the quarterback from the winning team wins the MVP more times than not. But I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I don't think plus 105 is good enough odds for me to take that bet. But I think the best bet of Super Bowl weekend is going to be this Joe Burrow plus 230 MVP bet. A lot of people think this game is going to be very close, including myself. It may very well come down to kicking, which is a game or a position that I will side with the Bengals and Evan McPherson over the Rams and Matt Gay. If it does, again, you got to think that if the Bengals are going to win this game, it's going to be because of Joe Burrow and his arm and his passing attack. So this is really just a bet on the Bengals win. If you think the Bengals are going to win this game, don't bet them money line plus 160. Bet Joe Burrow for the MVP at plus 230. I don't really see anyone on the Bengals, not even Jamar Chase at plus 2,000, who is the next closest odds getting the MVP award should the Bengals win this game. So my advice to you is if you really want to hedge and make money either way, you could bet Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow to be the MVP, and likely you wouldn't lose that bet unless anything crazy happened. But the safest thing, the most valuable bet I think of this weekend is going to be Joe Burrow MVP plus 230. The Bengals win, this award is as good as his. He's been unreal all playoffs. If you want to have more of a long shot bet and try to get a little bit more bang for your buck here, I think Cooper Kupp at plus 700 is not the worst bet in the world. Again, I said that the MVP traditionally goes to the quarterback, and that is true. Although if someone was going to win, especially an offensive player that isn't a quarterback, I could see Cooper Kupp, who is just such an integral part of the offense. And a player that the Rams did not have, they certainly would not be playing in the Super Bowl. Here's a look at the last game that Cooper Kupp played. This is against the 49ers. Look at this. 2 touchdowns, 11 receptions, and 142 yards. That's a third of the completions that Matt Stafford threw out, over a third of his yards, and all of the touchdowns he got. Basically, this entire passing offense outside of Odell Beckham is Cooper Kupp. And the Rams weren't scoring a touchdown against the Niners that game without the help of Cooper Kupp because he's the only one that got in the end zone. That is extremely valuable. Here's a look at the box score against the 49ers. Even crazier, 9 receptions here. So again, a third of the passes that Matt Stafford completed went to Cooper Kupp, 163 yards, which is exactly half of the passing yards that Matt Stafford had, and then another receiving touchdown. If you remember that Buccaneers game too, all the yards they gained at that drive was Cooper Kupp running 2 magnificent routes to beat guys deep and put the Bucs up in field goal range with a good 40 seconds left on the clock. If that game's going to overtime, I don't think the Rams beat Tom Brady, and the Buccaneers kind of see another Tom Brady classic comeback they did against the Falcons there. The Rams simply are not where they are right now without Cooper Kupp. He is half, if not more, of their passing offense, and I could very much see him getting the MVP. So don't be shocked if this plus 700 bet hits. This is a bet that I personally made just as someone to root for if the Rams win the game. That's not Matthew Stafford. Other than that, I wanted to talk about maybe the next best bet you can make this weekend besides Joe Burrow MVP, and that's the Bengals plus 4. This really comes down to historical basis, as you see on this playoffs, a record game of just games that were incredibly close. And the divisional weekend, 5 out of the 6 games ended with a game-winning kicker touchdown in overtime or in regulation. And then all the other games were incredibly close and decided by 3 points. This entire playoffs, with the exception of the Bengals beating the Raiders and the Bills beating the Patriots, all these games have been decided by a score or less and have been, again, very close, down to the wire every game. I don't expect the Super Bowl, the biggest game this season, where both guys and every player is going to come out playing with an intensity like they've never played before. I don't expect any one team blowing out the other in this game. I expect it to be very close. And again, I talked about the kicking matchup here, which I think is going to be key Evan McPherson, the rookie kicker for the Bengals, has been lights out all year, but even more so in the playoffs, hitting 50-yard field goals like it's nothing, putting up points for the Bengals in situations where they really need it. And then you see Matt Gay, the kicker for the Rams, has missed 2 pretty key field goals in the last 2 games against the Buccaneers and the 49ers. Luckily, the Rams were able to come out alive in both those games, but you can't afford to leave points on the board and trying to win the Super Bowl, let alone if you're trying to cover the spread. So again, I think this is a really good game. I think it could go either way. That being said, if the Bengals have a shot to win this game, even if they don't, I think the Rams kicking may leave some points on the board and leave the door open for the Bengals to cover this +4. I think it's a really good bet. I think this game is decided by 3 points regardless of who wins this one. One game prompt that I saw that I really liked was this Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp to combine for 200+ yards and plus money at 115. I like this one a lot. I talked about Cooper Kupp's yards the last 2 games already. 142 yards in the divisional round, 183 in the AFC NFC Championship. So this guy's been putting up numbers no matter what, left and right. It seems like a lock for 100 yards just about every game. Out of the 17 regular season games and 3 playoff games that Cooper Kupp and the Rams have played in, I think his over has hit 16 of those 20 times in an incredible 80% clip that the NFL's never seen before. Obviously, this guy's the NFL Triple Crown leader in receiving metrics, and I don't think he's going to slow down anytime soon because I don't think any defense has an answer for him. What's going to be more intriguing is Jamar Chase, who only got 54 yards in the divisional round. You see that this 200 mark would have fell short in the divisional round, but he put up 109 in the AFC NFC Championship, where Cooper Kupp and him combined for nearly 300 yards. So you see here that they were just shy in the division round, hitting that 200+ receiving yards, and they blew it out of the water the week later in the AFC NFC Championship game. I'm not really concerned about Cooper Kupp hitting this. I'm concerned about Jamar Chase, who is a tough matchup with Jalen Ramsey at quarterback, no doubt. But Jalen Ramsey is known for being a very aggressive cornerback that likes to try to jump and predict routes. That's something that you can't always do. And if you're right, then you disrupt the play, maybe you get an interception. But when you're wrong, you leave potential to get burned deep. Jamar Chase is as good as burning this man deep as about anyone in the league. He's led the league this year in 40, 50-yard receptions, big touchdown plays. I would not be surprised at all. In fact, I'm expecting it that the Bengals drop some crafty plays and some double moves for Jamar Chase to beat Jalen Ramsey in coverage, get him cheating, and you're going to see Joe Burrow and him connect for some big plays here this game. So this is one of the bets that I really like at plus money too. And then possibly the last bet I'll be talking about is one I like, Joe Burrow over rushing yards. This guy is very athletic for a quarterback. People don't give him his credit for how mobile he is. And you kind of saw that most recently in the Chiefs games, constantly keeping plays alive, picking up the first down and extending plays with his feet. Something that, especially for me, I didn't personally expect right away from Joe Burrow. You just talk about all his arm talent and how good he's been. But the key here for this rushing yards isn't so much Joe Burrow's talent, which definitely helps, but it's his poor O-line versus the really solid and stout Rams defensive line. I don't expect Joe Burrow to be having much time in the pocket to be able to make plays with his arm. He's definitely going to have to extend the plays with his feet, run around and scramble the pocket, and then when need be, pick up first downs with his feet, running for the first downs instead of passing for it, just like we saw against the Chiefs. I don't expect anything different in this game. And so because of the fact that his O-line just won't provide him a clean pocket, won't provide him time to hit his targets and let his routes progress, he's going to need to make up yards himself. I think that's when these rushing yards come in, especially on key third down plays. I would expect Joe Burrow to get well more than 10.5 yards here. And it also helps that the Rams are underdogs. You always are worried about, the winning quarterback at the end of the game, taking a few kneels, shaving off 2-3 yards from his rushing total, at least according to the line. And personally, I think the Rams are going to win this game. That shouldn't be happening if the Vegas and the bookmakers are correct and the Rams win this game. And so overall, I already talked about, the Bengals +4. I think it's a great bet, but I think the Rams win this game. This minus 196 implies that they have about a 66% chance to win this. I don't advise betting on any money line that's that juice, especially in a game this big. Again, I think the Bengals +4 is a great bet. And I also, the time I made this video, the over was 50. I've seen it started slowly creep downward towards 49, maybe even 48.5. I still like the over this game. I think these are two really good offenses. While the Rams have a good defense, I think the Bengals are resilient. Are going to keep putting up points with their great wide receiving trio with Chase, Boyd, and T. Higgins. And then, of course, the Rams with their great passing attack with Odell and Cooper Kupp against the secondary in Cincinnati that has proven to have holes in it, especially at the safety position rather than cornerback position. I'd see a lot of passing this game, a lot of points here, and I like the over in this one as well. So Bengals +4 in the over are the things I like in this game. And so that'll be all for our video. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. Just subscribe so you can keep getting our other content with Super Bowl and afterwards as well. And then let me know in the comment section what bets you're taking, what side you're picking, what you think of my picks as well. Enjoy watching the Super Bowl, guys. It's the last game of the NFL for quite some time, so enjoy it while it lasts. It's always a bittersweet moment. The best game of the year happens to be one of the last ones for a while. And don't forget, we got a partnership with Prize Picks. Use our code PROPICKS to get your deposit matched and, keep gambling and get some good player props there too. So best of luck betting for the Super Bowl. Enjoy it.